Let's jump right in, shall we? For so many of us, heading back to the office, or honestly just juggling a crazy daily schedule, brings up this massive guilt-inducing problem, leaving our dogs at home all by themselves. Now, over the last decade, doggy daycare has totally exploded in popularity, and it gets pitched as this absolute silver bullet. But is it actually right for your dog? Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to use this as your personal evaluation guide to figure out this whole canine conundrum.
So here's a quick look at how we'll break this down. First, the doggy daycare dilemma. Then, the big benefits. Number 3, is your dog actually a match? 4, vetting facilities and risks. And finally, sign signals and some great alternatives.
All right, let's kick things off with part 1, the doggy daycare dilemma.
So, the million-dollar question. Is daycare the right choice for your dog? Over the last 10 years or so, busy pet parents have increasingly been turning to daycares as a spot for their dogs to, play, socialize, and just burn off energy. Sounds pretty perfect, right? Well, the reality is a bit more complicated. The answer entirely depends on your dog's unique personality, their age, their health, and of course, your specific lifestyle. For some pups, it's this incredibly exciting adventure, but for others, it can be totally overwhelming or, honestly, just downright unnecessary. Let's unpack exactly why that is.
Moving right along to part 2, the big benefits.
You see, when it's a good fit, daycare isn't just about physical play. It's really more of a holistic health approach. First off, socialization. Having regular, positive social experiences in a supervised space helps dogs practice normal canine communication. Puppies especially get a massive confidence boost during those crucial early developmental months. Then you've got mental stimulation. It's like a giant puzzle for their brains. Dogs absolutely need more than just physical exercise. They need that mental enrichment. Being in new environments with different playmates and interactive toys really prevents boredom, which means, they're way less likely to chew up your favorite pair of shoes when they get back to my house. And finally, it reduces loneliness. Dogs are highly social pack animals. If you're stuck working long hours, daycare provides vital companionship and cuts way down on the isolation that can spark anxiety.
And hey, let's talk about energy for a second. A lot of dogs have way more energy than we give them credit for. For those highly active breeds, we're talking Labrador Retrievers, Border Collies, Australian Shepherds, Boxers, a quick 10-minute walk around the block is just not going to cut it. A full day of supervised running, chasing, and playing, that allows them to really burn off all that boundless, crazy excess energy. The result? You get a much calmer, way more relaxed dog waiting for you on the couch at the end of the day.
Which brings us to part 3. Is your dog a match? Because despite all those obvious benefits, daycare is definitely not a one-size-fits-all solution. Think about it like this. Some dogs absolutely thrive in that setting. These are your super friendly, social dogs, the energetic young adults, and the pups that are just naturally comfortable in new, bustling, loud environments. But on the flip side, other dogs, they genuinely prefer just staying home. This includes dogs that are very shy or fearful, dogs dealing with severe separation anxiety, or seniors who literally just want some peace and quiet. We also have to account for dogs recovering from illness or surgery, or any dog with a history of aggression. Some dogs are just total social butterflies, while others are happiest curled up on their own bed, and that is totally fine.
All right, part 4, vetting facilities and risks.
If you think your dog is a good fit, remember that not all daycare facilities are created equal. You wouldn't just drop your dog off without doing some homework first. You've got to ask some critical questions. For instance, how do they group the dogs? Is it by size, age, play style? Are the staff members actually trained to read canine body language so they can step in and spot a problem before it escalates? And what's the staff-to-dog ratio? You also really need to confirm that they require up-to-date vaccinations, that they supervise the dogs literally at all times, and, this is a big one, do they have a dedicated, quiet area for rest breaks? A quality facility has to prioritize safety, cleanliness, and positive interactions over just letting a wild pack of dogs run loose in a giant room. The crucial point here is balancing the fun with risk awareness, because anytime dogs gather in large numbers, there are going to be potential downsides. Illness is a huge one. There's just an increased chance of spreading contagious bugs like kennel cough, canine influenza, or intestinal parasites. That's exactly why those strict cleaning protocols and vaccine requirements we just touched on are completely non-negotiable. Another massive risk is overstimulation. Playing all day is exciting, for sure, but constant activity without scheduled rest periods can lead to profound exhaustion and major stress. And of course, even with the absolute best supervision, minor scrapes, bumps, and roughhousing injuries are just going to happen sometimes. And finally, part 5, signs, signals, and alternatives.
Your dog is going to tell you exactly how they feel about daycare without ever saying a single word. A dog that loves it will show obvious excitement when you pull up for drop-off. When they come home, they're relaxed, they've got a healthy appetite, they sleep incredibly well, and they just continue displaying overall confident behavior. But if your dog is suddenly showing a reluctance to actually enter the building, or if they're displaying excessive fear or anxiety afterward, maybe losing their appetite, getting sick frequently, or experiencing extreme exhaustion that lasts for more than a day, those are massive red flags, guys. Those are clear signs that daycare is causing stress, not providing enrichment.
Now, if you do notice those negative signs, it might be time to pull back. And here is the great news. You do not need to feel guilty about it because you can rapidly pivot to some really engaging alternatives. If daycare isn't working out, maybe consider hiring a midday dog walker for some one-on-one time. You could schedule intimate playdates with dogs your pet already knows and trusts. You can invest in puzzle toys and enrichment games for some mental stimulation right at home. Or just dedicate time to longer daily hikes, or even try engaging dog sports like agility or nose work. The point is, there are so many ways to keep your dog happy that don't involve a crowded facility.
Ultimately, the right choice is simply the one that helps your dog feel safe, healthy, and fulfilled. Daycare is a fantastic option for a lot of dogs, but it's never a one-size-fits-all solution. Your dog should come home tired, content, and actually eager to return, not stressed out or totally overwhelmed. Prioritizing your dog's individual comfort is the ultimate win here. Whether that means a fun-filled day running around with canine friends or a peaceful, quiet afternoon napping on the living room rug, success is defined purely by what works for them.
So, I'll leave you with this. When you look at your schedule and then you look at your dog, try to put aside what's convenient for just a second and ask yourself honestly, what choice will make your dog feel the most safe and fulfilled today? Evaluating their unique personality and comfort level is really the only way to make the best decision for your furry best friend. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I really hope this framework helps you solve your very own canine conundrum.